Good evening, everyone. I hope you had a beautiful day. We're going to move into the questions and answer session for the next hour. Just a few requests. First, please make sure you have the microphone before you begin your question so we can get both your picture and your voice on camera, especially for those joining online as well. And then secondly, if you could please do your best to keep your questions concise. No need to add a lot of backstory. I think we want to try to get to as many questions as possible. And so with that, certainly questions about what we've been discussing for the last now, day plus yesterday evening, more than welcome. If you have other questions, please feel free to ask. But again, if possible, try to keep the questions concise for the benefit of Rinpoche and others in the room. So with that, we're going to open it up. Adam, anything you'd like to add, or okay? Rinpoche, anything you'd like to add before we start the questions?
Lasso. Khandrola said you're welcome to ask questions about anything, but please keep it concise. I added that. Lasso. So I'll try my best, of course, with pure intention to answer whatever questions you have. It may or may not satisfy you. I haven't studied a lot, so there's a lot of knowledge I don't have, but my intention is pure.
Hi, Khandrola. Thank you very much. I have a question. As I practice more and realize how important the Dharma is, and then understanding more value of the Dharma, I started dropping my friends, those ordinary friends who has never recited money mantra or nothing like that. And then I started feeling a little bit lonely because I do not have a friend who practice Dharma and deeply around me, and then I don't have anyone to talk about this. What would you suggest, or is this the path, that necessary path, that I have to isolate myself and just, it's loneliness or like solitude is nothing I can do about it, just a path? Or can you please share your thought on this area? Thank you.
Congratulations, Karasagari Chu. Capsu Drupe Jelani, Chu Yamlan Tistis Chibicella, Karasagari Rokpan Ningbo, Chu my Japke, Gom ma Japke, Mani Mantra, Ngak Madranke, Tenzo Test Pasha Pain. And is so Rokpan Ningbo test curing bot that test Yupadravado. Any tanda the susu chikpo, Sorwa Mambo Lepidu. Kaisana chudro mesa chichan says so chikpo drama gets or mambole kitu any titi Khandrola gi lapcha karina as the mitseti mutine so chikpo rang ki nangwala nangla de degorebe yamena tati chudro tan chudro tati nyamdo de ati kariche gores
Oh, let's 당아서 제세나 지부대 이게 좀 말했어.
So what we call a Dharma practice isn't about staying alone.
믿음이 팔려 튠제지 믿음이 대화지 믿음이 창원로 아주 대화 야구지 지들이스. 죄려나?
the Dharma is also about connecting with people and being with people and forming connections.
다 검 가시 잡고야 되려와.
So such a project.
검 잡고야 되려와스.
So meditation might be like that.
검 라야디 된다 하고 그래서.
We have to understand this Tibetan word gom, which we normally translate as meditate, but it really means habituate or familiarize.
맞아. 최라야디 지 나자야. 라검야. 고랑고야. 아, 되네. 지 라말라 대바체야. 아니 니고로야. 근데도 좀 찍라. 추 세요 말이스.
So when we talk about Dharma, what is Dharma practice? Dharma practice is not only, sitting and visualizing a deity, reciting mantra, circumambulating, or going on a holy pilgrimage. Only that is not the Dharma.
달만디 최세나 맞아. 쥐 당야.
This word Dharma, Chi, also has a core important meaning of transformation. You have to transform something.
쥐 당이 쥐. 그래서나 아니 셈바 님바 셈바 마지바 셈바 장보메와 아니 디스디 쥐당 대샤시단 디무 남주 콩도 차고 유나 콩도 뉴르 다야 남미다 참르로야 최바치나 남미다 참르로 그래서 가인세나 남미 녀다치나 쇠바치 그러왔어 쇠바 파지 조야라 되니 시당라니면은 쇠바슬라 지고 진배 파신 조야라 진바 땅사 유면은 진바 땅에 유말아 봐 진바 땅에 롱주면은 진바 땅에 유말아 봐 근데 참말로 심지나 때네 자친구 참말로 심지나 때 땡당데 심바 장보세 심바 장보세 근데 쇠바 첨부 닌지 첨부 락삼 첨부 닌지기 토니 제바이나 아니 남미지야 오 저런 남주 롱차고요 봐 아니 저런 남주 마지와 차고요 다 단다 저라 롱나 갖고 싫어한 거샤 아니 뱀 장로 싫어 진짜 샘르로 싫어 진짜 저런 최대 가래 말랄랍다 라야드 고레스
That's So what is it that we need to transform? We have to transform our negative mind states. We have to transform our anger. If we used to be short-tempered, then we should transform that and become softer, more patient, kinder, develop wholesome mind states, develop our sense of kindness, closeness to other people. So actually we practice Dharma to improve our relationships with our family and others. A Dharma practitioner should grow more harmonious with their family over time. Why is this? Because they're practicing patience. And when they meet with anger, they can use that as an opportunity to practice patience. If there was no stimulation like that, there would be no object to practice patience with. Similarly, if there's no one around us who needs help, there's no object for us to practice our generosity towards. Dharma is about practicing in order to make ourselves more honest, more wholesome, more compassionate, more uplifted, more patient. And over time, a good sign of our practice is our family saying, oh, you used to be kind of difficult. You used to be somebody who lost their temper really easily. Used to be kind of an angry, short-tempered person, but now less so. You're less angry. Your temper is more mild. You're more relaxed. You're actually kind of a good person now. So whatever you're doing, whatever your spiritual path is, I want that too. That's a good sign.
Thank you.
A practical question. So what Trump doing currently seems to be very destructive to this world. So how should we respond and what can we do?
Say that
what Trump's doing currently is very destructive to this world. Okay. Seems to be, at least. So how should we respond and what can we do? Thank you.
That's did something Tanda karasegre.
Hi.
Arigi pumbo sarpa chigi rasura.
Pumo.
Ariri.
Kare?
Arina pumbo. Sisi. Pumbo.
Pumo.
Pumbo mare.
Ayo, tadi kemana?
This might be the answer right here.
Kongi dini lagi. Ari lo, pomo sabas rahasi. Dini sejursu.
What she understood me saying was, and I tried to say, America has a new president, but she heard me say, America has a new girl. She's like, who's that?
Ayo.
The Shungi, Gotri sa.
Bumbo.
Bumbo.
Oh. Ayo. Oh.
Ani ko karesegere something like Nyokra Mombosokitus. The Draminrat Nyokra Mombosokitus. Ani which is something like Nupache Girik Mombosokitus. Ani Mimombo karesegere Semcha Langadoa Tikikor Chetsan Kongichuasena Dela Kanjist Chegores. Samlo Kanjist Tangores.
Lasso. Tanga zo Jacobi Bumbo Zoyadi. Zamlin Jilla, Kitchenbo Yuris, Kitchenbo Chagres.
In general, the leader of any country is a very important position and affects the world a lot.
Jacob Jigi, Bumbo Sundazina. Bumbo Sundazi Kevaina. Jacob Jigi.
Oh. And whoever the leader of the nation is has a big effect.
Unenchina, Memansoji, Jabjonchini, Kutichigode, Kitchenbures.
So really, what's most important for a leader to do is to have the attitude to protect the people in their country.
다 논주 용양다. 다 지 수단 예식 마무지 용거로 왔어.
But of course, many mistakes and happen, and many bad things happen, many disturbing things also happen with politicians.
뱀부 참마지 끊는데 가르르세나 랑이 작업대 약부지 용양 랑이 작업대 믹스해지 줘야 랑이 작업대라 아니 옌다 만다지 용양이 줘야지 삼노 끊는데 뱀부 참마라 여러程度스
I think pretty much all leaders have an interest, some kind of interest that I want my country, things to go well in my country. I want my country to be strong, to be powerful, to be special, to get ahead. I think most leaders have some kind of motivation like that.
되니 딱 마릭바이 라바이나다 항다라 논주지리기나 답베데 시우지 용시바라 들어왔어.
But of course, we could say mistakes, big mistakes, happen quite often in that realm.
뱀부 순다지이나 랑 제네 제 파면서 저야지 삼는디 아니 할리비 논주침부레스.
Whatever kind of leader they are, whichever leader has an attitude of like, I need to win and others need to lose, that kind of attitude is a huge mistake on the part of a leader.
무슨 랑 파면지 자주 빼용도 랑양 냠도 밤들이스.
So if they create conditions where people actually tangibly get harmed and get suppressed, they also fall down with whoever they're suppressing.
맞은 잠블링지 코류 정말로 찍지라 땡땡바 인장 띵중잉아나 초고교와 인장 아니 견제잉아니 아니 초고교와 인장 정말로라 제바요와 인장니 튼지 체네 야제 땅야지 누바 빼야 돼 빼케좀 레팅도스.
So I think this environment, the environment that we live in, the people that live in it, all the different levels of our shared world are a factor of interdependence. Everything relies on everything else. It's a giant web or network of interdependence, dependent origination. Everything depends and relies on other things. And for that reason, I feel that it is crucial to try our best to gather positive, conducive conditions together to make positive outcomes.
침상 정리지 미직이나 비즈니스이나 오늘 전에 예나 때는 초고여와 인장 지 소수기 다 시럽 만당이 차지 마르카드라만다 쪽니 간중반주 제 자나 아니 방고 차야 리라우레스 까마 가시 주도 가시 너는 까마 차야 돼야 용시 받으레스.
So if somebody's like a business person, their business generally relies on other people to do business with, to run. So if they're harsh and they do negative, destructive things to other people, often they can bring themselves down. And that downfall can happen very quickly.
맞아 뱀부 순다지 레바이나 당보 매마지 아니 당과치아이나 가레이나 아니 그 산은 땅한테 캐치모레스 데니 뱀부 순다지 레바이나 데니 매마 참마지 잡존치니 야제 땅 튼지 주바이나 야그레마도 겐도 치바이나 아니 야가스키 용거 말레스 너주체 걸치야 도로와스.
So I think first of all, for a leader, when they first take power, they need to have it's essential they have a good intention for those who they have power over, whoever they're leading, an intention to benefit them. And then, secondly, they should have an attitude of protecting the people who they serve. If that does not occur, and rather they become disharmonious and harsh with those who they are meant to serve, then this is a huge mistake, and it compounds into further and further grave mistakes.
Mazola Drungoya Jeta, Topshuki Rik Mumbuziris. Topshuk. Topsina Shuklana. Deni. Toplana. Topchembo. Shukchembo. Rik Mumbuziris.
So there's many types of power. There's many types of, like, could say, authority or power. In order to, increase that. The power of enacting a cause, for example. Power of wielding a weapon, for example.
Me.
The power of a person, personal power.
Tene, this is someone noni yakshudi, and Semazambu top the kitchures.
Amongst all of those, the most important is the power of a wholesome mind, of a virtuous mind.
Shinda manchia de, Gogire de, Ningatores, di Nyamdola, Shirap Putuchumala, the Ninji Putuchumade, and Guadi, Uti Nambazola, Guadi, Bemisi Kitchembures.
The other types of power we also, need, but they all come with danger. And so what leaders need, urgently need, is this special insight and special compassion. That's crucial for leaders.
Cheza Pinzu Samalo, Dende Dutubi Nitu Inza, Anji Semba Kuyambo, Lo Zula Neba. Ane Mema inandra, and Uti number inandra, Unetane, Yajetana, Shirap Putuchuma, Ninji Putuchuma, Lade, Zongde Chevaina, and at Zamalindi, Shidi Mola, Kalujutoya, and Mitsirumbo, Nemeva, Tashiva, Longjuta Demba, Deni, Sowachibo, Rotogres. And Koyuk Sunjo. Ranging Gris.
So I think it's crucial, therefore, that we cultivate an open mind, all of us, an open, unbiased mind, whether we're sort of ordinary people or in positions of power and authority. All of us need this, a very open, unbiased mind, a mind that has clear, special insight, a mind that has excellent compassion, and the unity of these, insight and compassion. So with that, whoever we are, we can contribute to peace and happiness in the world. As much as these qualities spread, then the longevity of people in the world, the health, the good fortune, the abundance, all of this can be possible, and well-being, true well-being. And on top of all of that, with those kinds of qualities, we will naturally be inclined to protect our environment.
근데 인제 표도 중앙다 시라 표도 중앙데 나저기 다 표주치에 둘러 봐버려 가시데 아니 나저기 시엔데 지다 준지리 아니 참마기 될라 도나 마치 바이나 아니 잠을인데 다 저거 지그러야지 년가 사고 지다 데니 지 미마인 바이 출레기 아니 가서 미 남주 자침부데 아니 추파 사드라시 년가 요레스 멜 촐라 타야
Minam Garrison AI. Really. Yes. So I feel that the time has come for us to activate this, to encourage this kind of exceptional insight, exceptional wisdom, exceptional compassion. To use that, the time has come. The time is now. If we don't give interest to such things, but keep developing our knowledge without these elements, then I do think there's a chance this world will quickly be destroyed. Yeah, I think that things that appear to be like a human but are not in fact human, AI and another, for example, could be extremely destructive and kind of lay waste to this whole thing.
세상 잠리지 뱀부지지 순다지나 거자 가르지 중수와이나 맞서 시라 표주 땅네 되네 딜라 컨트롤하여 요 말했어 좀전 가르세나 컨트롤하나 랑네 그랬어 파주들라 걔네 말했어 컨트롤한사라 가네 말했어 네 랑네 그랬어 되네 다 파주디야 랑나지지 마지요 요바데야 파주디야 당들라네 아니 강에 당들랑고요 말했어 지 강에 세라이 탑치 강에 용두 아니 뱀부sol레이나 강에 쉬어요레스 강에 쉬어요레스 대송장아서 로줄레 템바세 아까 너도 중스나 아까 너송데 아니 베독자 마용하쇼 제니 심 코양보체 찍찍라 셈 트루 아니 독자 삼당 아니 남도 마보랑 제바이나 아니 랑게랑라 네바체 용고레스 디핑기 마레스 맞어 미 레바 여러와 시라 페주 당네 아니 랑라 마네바 젠라 마네바 아니 딘디 거자 용도 참마 루룩세네 참마 냠릅세네 펜도 용하지 자진 주야 탑세고래 마도 네바 이상도 단조 마레스
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So in this world, we have to use our insight. We have to use our wisdom. Is the main thing when thinking about the world, thinking how to relate to the world. It doesn't help to get angry. All that does is harms ourselves. It doesn't even harm the object of our anger. They don't receive the harm from our anger. We are harmed as soon as anger arises within us. And it doesn't help. It doesn't help. What we should really focus our energy on is finding solutions that clear away problems. That's useful because Leaders also have a lot of problems, full of problems, any kind of leader. So if things are not going well, we should say, things are rough. But we shouldn't sit there and generate negativity, generate negative thoughts. We should try to keep our mind very open as we can. If we allow ourselves to get disturbed, get consumed with negative thinking, and then just lose ourselves into thoughts, so many thoughts, then all that ends up doing is harming ourselves. We're just harming ourselves. So rather than that, we need to think of what's beneficial, because that has no benefit, actually. So what is actually beneficial? We have to use our brain. We have to act in ways that do not harm ourselves and do not harm others. We should gather together and use our collective skills and intelligence and problem-solving abilities to think of what is the most beneficial thing we can do at this point with the situation in front of us. So we shouldn't think harmful thoughts, that it just has no benefit at all.
Dear Khandro Rinpoche, I have a question. Yesterday you shared a little bit about your personal journey of finding your teacher and what hardship it involved to make your way to His Holiness Dalai Lama. My question is, would you mind sharing a little bit more about that personal journey? What was the most difficult point in that journey? And what helped you overcome that difficulty? Thank you.
Tati kasani Khandrola rangi karisegele logyu ra mitse tigi logyu tis sungsong ani dinala ani charangi karisegele lama ti jawa toje changi ani karisegele jayade ani pemesi kokap tashir trouble res sungsong ani charan this karisegele ti lam kala ti kangel mombo chong sos yang so ani morangi triwasana piche tiki kola this manga sumronangs ani mixege ani kangel cheshu parche cheshu ki kor kesi sumtuna tiki kor donayas.
다 강이 라데 ngarandaulada 다 강이 드라마다 뭐래 하야
I think about like struggles or hardships. Oy vey, there have been so many, so many hardships.
당가서 강이 라데 베레즈나 지당이 강이 라데 다 ngarangarang 지앙어마시 레 녜바이 왕기 강이 데니 레 상보이 왕기 아니 삼당당 덴디지야 데바 가시 유지리.
So when I think about the struggles and hardships that I've experienced in this life, I think that some of them are connected to negative karmic imprints that I created in past lives, and others are created to ways of thinking, maybe even positive ways of thinking.
가시 젠지 아니 강이 유지리스.
Some are maybe due to conditions coming together.
다 강엔다 지 미진 비차네 당은 지 다 속 마셔 잠지 강에 신나자고 마음 채버리지.
Almost lost her life. Many of the, in this life, I've had many very intense hardships and struggles, almost to the point of losing my life many times.
되니 세tuk포 강에 갑라 아니 배 마시 세바르 냥송 세tuk
Ale, ore, zetu,
음,
ni mashi poto.
음,
For example, getting food poisoning so bad that it was right at the point of death.
내년 칸에 봐 배율라더니 신간나 아니 봐 로나 신친 니만 니시 잡들나 봐 유저리
27 days. So, for example, when I arrived in the, as a refugee in Nepal, I was in such a state that they kind of just left me out in a field for 27 days, like a corpse.
디갑랑아 사타 남니마도 ngosi니메 ngosi야메
Sada.
니 ngosi야데 사다 남니리
So the only friends, the only people I knew at that time, the only friends I had was the grass and the ground underneath me.
제자니 쳐봐 배죽 메시기 다 아르마덴들이 정규
The feelings, sensations of pain, discomfort were extremely intense.
되는가 고야 자투 말에 되니 다 쇼주투 말에 나이삼발라 다지 미유리 녀완도 미유지 이다도 진짜 some persons
At that time, I couldn't move my head. I couldn't like even roll over from one side to the other. I thought that this experience that I was having at that time was like I was in the human realm, but I was experiencing hell. It was like a hell being or a hungry ghost, but still in a human body.
tsena changwe donge ane bet chaba khasitana sa chango tamba na redirwa ta nila tsigyung ni ma je 사람 맞아요 뭐도
At night, I had the suffering of feeling cold. When it would rain, the ground would get very, very cold, and I would just lie there in the mud. During the day, the sun would beat down and burn me. It was super hot and burning, so I got to directly experience the intense suffering of heat and cold.
되니 카지 감용데 안지 렘바지 칼라라나 제마도 짱조 이게셔면도스 짱마다 쪼바지 삼면도스 렘바지 칼라라나 제시 동에들이 냐송스
And I had such intense thirst that just getting a handful of whatever, like dirty ditch water around I could get to put in my mouth was all I could think of. I didn't even have the concept of, is the water clean or dirty?
되니 대화라야 돼야 파마냠돌라 아니 자침보 집어요 바데 서로 대디 양자 대리서 좋아하거든요 파마지 냠도 대비 서로가 대화 들어와 냠도 대디 서로고요 말와 다 대디 오네 대화 빼시고 할래비 대화 자침보 임바지 진이 하고 그래
So, and in terms of like happiness or joy, pleasant experience. It was only then that I realized how good it was being with my parents when I was young, how much happiness and joy, how good it was. Only then did I realize.
룽바 미시 창마지 나라 대바치 가오치 아니 베 사야 그냥 약수 잔자 제르바
Everyone from my homeland, the area that I came from, liked me. They had esteem for me when I grew up. They gave me good food. They gave me good clothes to wear.
데니 파마기 아마지 저거 놀라 나와 중니 아니 모랑기 강에 창마 제도 센 아니 저거 너네 데니 파마니기야시 칼라 돌로 창마로 자침보 지부 다다파도 수연조데 통성스
Dawa chuni.
나와 중니 여러분 저거 너 qabla
Lasso.
나서 창마 파마시 당보
Lasso. And dawa
다구
dawaku.
이제 그러면요 아야
Discussing how many months she spent in the womb just now.
나 그인 주인 주인가 찍으와 그래 그
Namgyum gu.
다랑 주다
Well, let's just say it's 9 months.
아유 아니
So my mother kept me in her womb for 9 months, took care of me, grew me as a baby, and then gave birth. My parents took care of me, protected me, fed me, clothed me, and did their best to make me comfortable.
내니 나랑이 삼주나라 오늘 전에 진짜지 강인데 찍어야 돼 가르래 네 콘솔라 지낸스야 라마송진 나 줘봐 찍도스 파만 지낸스야 되니 롱바 밑에서라 지낸스야 아니 당아 시바 있는 아까 콘솔 지낸스야 라면도 진소 되니 야 라마 지마도 당이 레게 맞지 사이서리 된 아니 니마지 쌤 할래 쪼셔서
At that time, when I was lying there in that field at the edge of death, that the thought, I had one regret come up, which was that I never got an opportunity to repay the kindness of my parents. Here I am, it looks like I might die here. I didn't get a chance to repay their kindness. I did not get a chance to repay the kindness of the people from the area that I grew up with. So when I thought, wow, this situation, dying like this, I must have really made a mistake with the, my lama or some great beings to end up like this. So one day there, at that time, my mind became extremely sad.
되니 땅아 록발라와 있는다 흔들 나랑기 토자 되니 되니 이 차와 인베 저라 멤베 저라 다치 켄자들이 자가이 차와치 베데 저라들이다 응악바이치 베데 저라 진리게 아니 막 깨져만 보 시에서
Nangna chikcharso.
된 düni
Lasso.
그런 딜라 야 샤넨 깨져만 보 다 최모 무슨도
Lasso.
독도디.
Lasana. And then at that time, I could say a friend, a teacher, sort of being who was dressed like an Indian sadhu, like an Indian monk or renunciate, appeared above me, like in a direct experience, and taught me, spoke a lot to me, and gave me teachings.
근데 뒤쪽 가시 쟁 가시는데니 닝딕 라이지 자신부 임바자 안다 주 가신 가서들이 중성
Ningtik.
응 닝딕 라이지 최지 송송스 니만지
Yes. And then, as part of that, he taught some teachings which are known as Ningtik, which means the heart essence. It's a type of teachings. So he gave me teachings on that.
데니 식질라 차바저라디 강식 제니 제와 테마지 텔리 제외 정신 여마이 젠리 라네 강이 동벌 녜 대치 동니 시나 봐요 댄스라네 데니 식 마보송네 자와시라 브레스라네 식 마보송네 한 예수 다 대주 쉬버스 편도서 나이 삼발라 사이 제 가래 지 하고 마서 믹스에 딜 대바스 믹스 게 제마서 지금 말봐 때 식디 메시카게도 땡게 나라 식디 베 시럽 오네 카체가 나지 차서
So then this Indian monk who was appearing above me spoke some really extraordinary and precious teachings, like whatever appears. I'm going to just approximate the verse. Whatever appears to arise can only appear through some condition allowing it to happen. Anything that relies on a condition to appear is nothing other than emptiness. Tama.
제 라네베데 동만 데니 동니 시나 봐요 댄스 아니 셈바 봐요 밥해보 고양보 차그리스
So then, and whoever knows emptiness, your mind will be at ease and at peace. Something like that. So the teaching was extremely profound. It affected me very powerfully. So he gave that teaching and many other instructions, and then dissolved. The experience dissolved, and the being dissolved. So I didn't know what it was. It's like, is this a deity? Is this a ghost? Some kind of bad spirit? I didn't know what it was. Not knowing what it was, I didn't even generate a special kind of faith in that experience. But the words that were spoken, I really, really liked what this monk said. It was very powerful, and it kind of cracked open some kind of insight in my mind.
강다라 다 강인다 몽보 중리 될지 심노는 동에 대가서지 직설라면도 제기면도 세간이나 나라 남주도 강인라 가르지나 제바 체니지로와 딱지 체니지로와 딱지 체 갑라 아니 뒤독자르샤트네 나고지 통해서 기면도
So although I experienced tremendous hardship, the suffering in my mind was not equal to the hardship that I was experiencing, because somebody who loves to explore and investigate what is happening. And so when suffering or a hardship comes up, I explore it, I look at it, I investigate it. What is this? How does this work? And with that kind of mind, with that kind of curiosity, the mind doesn't suffer so much.
아니 깔에 치슈딩아 아니 다 저르무지 제가 마당니 되는지 녀다당 아니 산주 쪽바사만 락바이 추주 녀다당 디 갑라 시라깔에 가서
Maybe the most intense hardships that I underwent were at first, when I first arrived, not being allowed to meet with His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Instead, I was sort of verbally demeaned. I was physically beaten. I was made to scrub toilets with my hands and many things like that. Beaten a lot. So that was probably the worst hardship.
되니 심 팜슈데 되니 자와지노 꾸스테야다 아니 잠블린 찔라 펜토야지 자왕아와 준비지 취에데 네바르들 자오름부지 송고요 데 네바르들 송에 탑사물로 용수 제고요 생각은 개인친부지 제가 송장 아니 라달라메 롱된다 채마 몸부지 여바 인장 아니 나랑 시메바치 미진이데 로고 마치바치 데라 강고체니 아니 통중당야데 시라시 세마 체슈마데인스
Probably the strongest, form of sadness I've ever experienced, the biggest struggle inside my mind was around that time because I had been instructed in many, many visions and many signs and visions and Lama's instructions to create positive conditions for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to teach the sacred teachings of the fifth Dalai Lama, that cycle of teachings. And I really was taking responsibility for that. And it was for the long life of His Holiness and also to bring great benefit to many other beings as well. And so to have that kind of intention and feel that sense of responsibility, but then to not be helped by others to make it happen, because I had no education, knowledge at that time. Instead of being helped, to be blocked and beaten and demeaned and so on was very discouraging. So that was the biggest struggle I think I've experienced inside my mind.
이나양 ngala 다지 수부지 요레스 티갑라 수부디야 나사이 킹샤 나사이 칸드샤
And of course I have a physical body, and at that time my body became totally racked with illness.
되네 배샤님이 뭐셰버님이
I didn't know anybody. I didn't have a dime. I had no money at all.
로조님이
I had no education.
아야 딘디갑라 셈데 셈다 zu고로가 할레버레샤세 셈가 다디 셈을 따나 아니 셈데 shum기면도스 님바다 시럽디 배셔 땅니 가리나 영 좋아 가리나 되게 되네 지 셈 shum니마 가지고로 다지 잠이 gö면라오지 제체하지 로디 시랄레 마송스 아니 제장 다 딘디 망보여레
At that time, I could say that the state of mind I had in my physical body, the gap was enormous. The amount of pain and suffering and sickness in my body was one thing, but in my mind, the power I felt, the capacity, the strength and power in my mind was very, very strong also. I felt like I could deal with anything. I could do anything. So although I was saddened by the situation, I never got depressed or gave up or thought, this, I can't do it and stuff like that. So my mind actually was very strong at that time also.
Ngi samna tande susu simje china pindo shira thoma songs. Simje china pindo shira thoma songs.
I also reflected that, if I worry, it's not beneficial. There's no benefit.
Kain sina nga su jedu su jibo jebares. Ani shidu jibo shares.
Because I thought, when we're born, we come through on our own. And when we die, we also have to go alone.
Ani semi rangi la shidres keyomares. Semji rangi la shidre keyomare.
And the nature of the mind, the underlying nature of the mind, it doesn't even die at all anyway.
Druji pakpa shua naji. Yeah?
Just changes bodies again and again, like a snake shedding its skin.
Then jawdo jang yino je gewa zambo. So ani misi nana da rindang da tewa. Za chishu. Ani lama yenji lama song te. Ani chu nyamsani ji kokap chong chanju gi semda doni dawa san za chumse. Da kokap chong lama rangi tukji gaji. Je? Then ne nasa 동네 상말로 랑기 당진의 진지이 나네 다 제와 연주지 고 니당스리.
And then finally, I did get a chance to finally meet His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, my root teacher. And then my life took a very different turn. Became full of blessings, full of extraordinary opportunities, teachings, blessings, and all kinds of amazing, wonderful things. I was able to receive teachings on emptiness and bodhicitta and many, many, many other things, and practice and receive his blessings. And it became one fortunate, auspicious situation after another.
건다 된 빼네 많아서.
Sorry, I think I went off on your question there.
에야 다 더군데 자고로.
Listen,
진짜 저래래.
I think we may have run out of time.
Thank you all so much. Let me come to the center. I think we have to end on that note. What a beautiful note to hear that incredible story, Rinpoche. Thank you for sharing.
라서
So I want to make one additional announcement. A number of students and others have just requested an opportunity to take refuge vows with Rinpoche. And so tomorrow evening at 5:30, we're going to host for whoever is interested, an opportunity for those of you interested in taking refuge vows. We'll host a brief ceremony with Rinpoche. And so we're going to have a sign-up sheet in the front here when you first enter the Garrison. And we welcome anyone who wishes to join, of course, no obligation. And this is just purely at your own discretion. Okay. Thank you all very much. Have a great rest of your evening. Yes, if you have, I'm sorry.
이게 쇼가 산이 직전에 아니 쇼게 이게마 다지 계자시시 드링나진지 아니 닝곤제라 양 제바트네 제바이나 페제페제 미창원로 제바 뭐 보여보다 아니 니 렌퉁퉁퉁 제다 어티바 망자 제바이나
That's
직진의 수수수기 도바 침주로
that's yeah. I just wanted to say that I think for tomorrow, maybe what we can do is in the morning session, I'll share some more teachings as we've done. And in the afternoon, after lunch, for the afternoon session, maybe we could continue the question and answer. And I'll try to give short answers as best as I can, so we can more people can share their thoughts and questions. So we'll try that.
공다 여바지 제가 드린 지나 미 상월로 수수기
And then,
직 송야 여러와
that's all. And then hopefully everyone can be satisfied and get a chance to ask their question. And then if need be, we'll continue that into the evening till everyone gets their chance.
Thank you. To your question, yes, if you've already taken refuge vows, no problem to take them again with Rinpoche if you're so inclined.
Dimi kashi karasegari ani kamdom tomba shindiyas ani ngaso kamdomba karares sungomena karares biche sani
잠저 domba 주기 남니지 잠저 domba 신이 주기라고 얘기로
oh that's I think maybe the people who are strongly interested to take refuge vows hopefully know what the refuge vows are.
So if you're ready to join the cult and send your firstborn child, then we would gladly welcome you.
잠저 주 도도스나 잔주 있습니다 양탑에 따와 존죽라 잡수도기 텔라가기 텔라 대바치 센 시 군주숨 추 겐디 군주 산지 군주 추 군주 레드와 근데 지나기에다 디 카르주로다 낭베지 추나나 아니 치 잠로 낭 잠로 코나니 잠로 슬라병도 타뚝은 잠로데 텐지 라마 르릭 뇽메셰 슬라네 타득 주 뉴용리드나니 잔죽습니다 돈이 다와데 랑기 감대신이 뭐가 되어 인상 아니 킬레지야 돼요 잔죽습니다 돈이 다와라 킬레지기 안 디기 냠리체니 뭔데 줄tum 사조지 주군주다 겐디군주 산지군주라니 디디스 시그레스 디시네 잠주도 발링이 라고 지레스 근데 마시는 디디다스
Lasso. Just in brief, refuge. When we talk about going for refuge, this is going for refuge in emptiness and bodhicitta, the view of emptiness and bodhicitta, which is the altruistic intention aimed towards awakening. And so, and the unity of these, the unity of the view of emptiness and the intention of bodhicitta is what we're mainly going for refuge in, which is, sort of like, I accept this, I want this is my protection. That's kind of what the meaning of going for refuge is. In the outer sense, we go for refuge in the three jewels, the jewel of the Buddha, the jewel of the Dharma, and the jewel of the Sangha. That's kind of the outer form of this refuge objects. And then there's many levels of going for refuge. There's like the outer refuge, the inner refuge, and the innermost refuge of suchness itself, the nature of reality. In the end, all of it comes back within ourself, within our own mind. It is said that the ultimate Lama, the ultimate Guru, is our own awareness in the end. And in that, we find the view of emptiness and the altruistic intention of bodhicitta. So if we accept that, it's like, I accept that, I want that, that is my protector. I trust that. That's kind of the intention. And then outwardly with the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. So if you know about refuge and what the refuge vows are, then you already know. And if you don't know, well, now you know.
안디 얘는 가서 양 초한 예를 뭐부터 춘춘지는 진짜 진짜주 코트스나 디그리스 얘니죠.
That's all. Perhaps we'll choose one of the side rooms somewhere. Depends on how many people, but maybe we'll meet in some side room and do the refuge ceremony there.
그래서 신자난고
Have a good night.
Good night, everyone. Thank you so much.